Hey, this is Matthew Licursi, and you're watching TDC Mountain!
Hey folks, another video on bullying, but this time we're going to touch a little bit more on cyberbullying because I didn't have enough time to talk about it the last time. Cyberbullying is a designation or definition of bullying done via cyberspace due to the current social mediatic circles and circuses that we have nowadays in today's society. By that, you know a lot of them because I know that a lot of you who use YouTube also use Twitter, Daily Booth, Tumblr, Flickr, a whole bunch of other things that can be used in a socially acceptable format, including YouTube. And bullying, unfortunately, also exists on YouTube in the form of trolls. We always call these people trolls. The same goes with Blogtv shows, any live stream, where you have haters, people that get on just for the sake of getting their rocks off or having fun because they're bored, thinking that it's fun to actually use bad words, flaming someone over nothing, and putting them down and trampling on them until they're deep in the dirt. Unfortunately, that happens to anyone nowadays, and it happens to affect those that are still growing up. The most unfortunate, effective location for bullying, and by location I mean person's lifetime, is when you're going through high school, and sometimes just before that in secondary. Usually between grades 7 and 12, it's where things become dangerous, and bullying even starts before that, due to the way that certain societies, and by that I mean North American society, tend to allow it to prosper. I'm not sure about what other societies have in regards to bullying, but I know here in North America, Canada, and the US most specifically, bullying is a very bad form of social hazing. Those that actually survive the event survive with bigger and stronger morals and a bigger and stronger spirit and heart. Those that are incapable of surviving through it, unfortunately, become weaker in all aspects, to even the point of taking their own life, because that's the only way that they see themselves leaving such a misery and such a location. Now, bear in mind that you survived through it. Good. I know that many of you have already responded and have said that you've survived through it, and it's made you better people for it. Same with me. But we all went through the pain of it. It was still very painful, still very damaging, and it took a long time for the scars to heal, even if they weren't physical scars. Bullies will resort to any tactic to make a person feel down. Usually what happens is that they have a gravitational force that tends to attract other people that like to float around, where they're easily molded into a simulacrum of a bully. We'll say the bully cheerleaders, where they cheer on their bully leader, and they make things happen in such a way that unfortunately causes cataclysmic reaction in the inner circle of their workings in regards to school children being bullied, and then leading to other things. Now, the unfortunate side to bullying is that one more child has lost his life, and this happens everywhere, but this time this one happened in Moncton, and it happened due to many reasons, but the biggest factor in that child's life was bullying. And I send my condolences out to the family. No one wants to bury their child. It's more likely the other way around. We always think that our child will bury us. And it's very sad when we have to actually do that. I have no children, but it doesn't mean that I didn't survive through the rigors of being bullied. And it doesn't mean that I've never been harassed in my workplace or anywhere else. It exists anywhere, and it usually exists with people that are ignorant, people that are afraid, and people that are looking to make themselves feel superior by actually taking a position of power over somebody that's showing weakness. The unfortunate way to stop it is a moral requirement, and it should be a moral obligation by everyone. And that's standing up to the bully and telling them what you're doing is wrong. And if you can't do that to the bully, you go to the authorities, the principal, the vice principal, the teacher, the policeman. I don't care who you approach. I don't care what you do, but you need to stand up and start doing something. And sometimes parents need to do that, even if they don't want to. The best way is to teach your children to defend themselves. But I don't necessarily mean standing up physically and fighting, but I do mean standing up for themselves and helping them become who they are. Sometimes it needs to be taught to the child or children from people outside of the family, because sometimes the moral fiber of a family isn't enough to reinforce the fiber of the child. I'm not being cynical, I'm being realistic. It happens. We don't always have awesome uncles or awesome aunts that we can look up to or talk to. We don't always have our parents available. Sometimes we're a single child. We've lost our families. We're being raised by aunt, uncle, or foster family. And it becomes a difficult situation to survive through. Now, with that, cyberbullying doesn't help. But cyberbullying has an easier nip in the bud than anything else, due to the fact that if you don't see or hear the bullying that gets done, no harm is going to be done. So if you start being harmed by a website, log out of the website or block the people in question, all depending on what you have and what you want in regards to using that website. You may have to live with the consequences by taking into perspective that it's a little bit of vinegar in your glass of wine. But apart from that, you'll be fine and you'll live through it, as long as you remember that sticks and stones will hurt your bones, but emotions, words can be as well as destructive, unless you don't let it be. I'm talking about real therapy here, folks. It's a case in point that you're the only people that can actually let your emotions control you, and also what other people tell you control you. It will hurt, you will cry, you will feel sad, angry, depressed, but you need to get out and move about. It's not by folding in on yourself that you'll be able to actually survive through it, and it's not by keeping it in that you'll be able to survive through it either. Anyways, as for cyberbullying, task forces are being set up across Canada, and I can't wait to see what those results will be, because it will mean a better backbone to the current system that they have, which seems to be slowly losing its backbone every year for some odd reason. And this is with law enforcement behind it. Such a pity. But anyways, have a nice one.